Yes?
Sebastian Knight, isn't it?
That's right.
I don't think we've met officially. Dave Phillips.
No, you're wrong. We met at a party some time back. You'd had a little bit too much to drink. Perhaps that accounts for the memory lapse.
Yes, perhaps that's it. Seems I'm forever apologizing for my past behaviors. I'm sorry if I caused you any embarrassment at the time.
Oh, the embarrassment wasn't mine.
Would it be possible for me to speak with Lee?
Oh, no. I'm afraid he's too busy right now.
Well, that's all right. I can wait.
Oh, well, he's booked up for the rest of the afternoon.
Not one free moment?
Not one. Oh, if you like, perhaps I could set something up for another time.
Well, a moment is really all I need.
Somehow I doubt that.
Tomorrow, then?
Well, I'm afraid it's another bad day.
And the day after?
You'll be out of town.
Yes.
In fact, that may turn into a 3 or 4 day trip. I'll tell you what, though. Why don't you just give me a call in a day or two, and perhaps we can work something out then.
No, thanks.
Hey!
That issue's the backbone of my platform. I can't change my... Sebastian, please. I'm on the line with Ray Thornton.
I'm sorry.
I don't care who it is, and I'm not leaving this office until I speak to you.
We've come here to get Eric, Daddy, because I know you had him abducted from Mother's house.
You're being absolutely ridiculous, Miriam. Why would I do a thing like that?
Well, I don't have time to go over the entire list. Now, where is he?
And I don't have time for nonsense like this. Now, maybe you should have stopped by at your psychiatrist on the way over. Perhaps he could help you with some of these delusions of yours.
I wonder if he can help me with mine. See, I'm suffering from the same delusions. We're not leaving without Eric.
You two are not welcome in this house. And contrary to your opinion, you will leave when I say you leave.
And if we do, we'll be back with the police quicker than you can say Jack Robinson.
And what makes you think you can convince them to come here?
Well, any number of things. First of all, I believe when I suggested the boy might be in Canada with his grandmother, you agreed with me. You even said something about going up there to get him. But most important, Charles, from the time we knew that this boy was gone, you've had no reaction to it at all. I find that to be a little strange from a man who had chest pains only last week when he found out the boy was going to move only a few miles away from here.
That's only speculation on your part, Harold. And the police would tell you that.
Daddy, don't you have any respect for what I'm going through right now?
No more respect than you showed me when you took Eric away.
Well, that sure sounds like an awful lot like an admission to me.
I don't believe you can be so callous like this. I mean, if Eric isn't here,
He's
then...
here.
All right. I've heard just about enough. You two may go now.
Charles, Paul is going to be here in Kingsley in just a few hours. You think this is going to make no difference to him? You think he's going to turn around and go back to England and trust that the boy's going to turn up, that we'll send him back on the next plane?
I won't even dignify that with an answer.
You can't dignify it with an answer because you don't have one. You haven't thought that far ahead. I suggest you start thinking ahead, though. You better come up with an answer that'll satisfy with the police. Come on, Miriam.
No, I'm not going until I search this house.
No, Miriam, no.
Daddy!
You lied to me, Grandpa. You said Mom wouldn't be upset.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ray. Seems I've developed a minor crisis here in my office. Oh, no, it's all right. But can I call you back? Right. Okay. So long. What is so important that I hang up on the governor?
An empty promise. And I wouldn't have barged in on you like this if I had been treated with some respect by your campaign manager.
I gave you an honest rundown of Lee's schedule.
If you want to see me, you'll have to make an appointment.
It seems to me I'm seeing you now.
I think I'll call security.
Please do. I'll be gone by the time they get here anyway.
That's all right, Sebastian. We seem to have a promise of brevity. Let's see if he can keep it.
It'll be kept better than your promise to me.
And what promise did I make you?
A $10,000 one.
What makes you so sure that that was a promise in the first place?
Call me idealistic.
You know, it seems to me that that contribution was conditional, that you had to keep a promise in order to get it.
To stay away from Kate.
Well, it seems that you do remember.
What I remember is a public pledge, without me agreeing to any conditions.
Yes. Very clever of you, by the way, at that time. Very embarrassing to me. So, here we are back at square one.
So you're going to renege on it, is that it?
Tell you what, Dave. Let's start from the beginning. I'll personally write the check out while you watch. If this time, you'll shake hands on my terms.
Well, surprise, surprise.
I wouldn't have let you leave. I would have told you.
Of course you would.
Eric, I'm just so glad you're safe.
Why'd you lie to me, Grandpa?
Boy deserves an answer, Charles.
I didn't lie. I was just mistaken.
Yeah, Eric, for your untrained ear, that means he lied.
That is not true, Eric. If I had known how your mother would have reacted, I would never have
Oh,
done-
no, that is enough of that. You knew exactly what you were doing, and you knew exactly how I would react. Now, Eric, I want you to go upstairs, and I want you to pack all of your things.
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Paul is going to be here shortly to take him back to England. Let the boy stay.
Eric, do as I say. Harold, thank you very much. You can go now.
Are you sure that's wise, Mary?
I don't think I'll have any more trouble from him, and besides, I think I have a few things to say to him that I don't want anyone else to hear.
I understand. I'm going to call you later to be sure everything came out okay.
Thank you. Why, Daddy?
You backed me into a corner, Mim. I was desperate. I was afraid I might never see my grandson again.
Well, you realize that after this, you may never see him again. Because it is quite possible that Paul will take court action blocking any access to Eric.
But Paul doesn't have to know.
He does, and he will. Because I plan on telling him myself.
Oh, no, Miriam.
Yes, yes, Daddy. And do you realize how this is all going to look to Paul? I mean, you have been acting like a little greedy child fighting over a toy.
Well, you fought pretty hard yourself.
But I fought for the best interests of my son. Your only goal was to try to possess him.
No, Mim, I was trying to hand him his future.
Daddy, it's not yours to hand him. I can't believe you're not even sorry about this, are you? You're not. You're only sorry that it didn't work.
I just want my grandson to stay in this country.
No, you don't even want a grandson. You want a robot with little dollar signs in its eyes, something that you can program to think and act just like you. Eric! Eric, would you please hurry? Daddy, I have given you every opportunity to change, but you refuse. You don't even have the decency to apologize for kidnapping my son. You just justify it with your own anguish. That's it. That's it. I have had enough. I am going to recommend to Pa that he take legal action against you. And when Eric and I leave here today, it's going to be the last time. Now you've not only lost a grandson, you've lost a daughter, too.
No, Miriam. No, no. Don't say that. Don't even think it. Yes, I've been foolish, but I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. You're just saying that because of my threats.
But I am, Mim. I truly am. I couldn't bear to lose you. I know I've hurt you deeply. I know that. Please forgive me, Mim. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll go to Paul. I'll tell him what I did, and I'll ask his forgiveness, too. But, Mim, let's make this a beginning for us, not an ending.
You're bold enough to sit there and offer me another bribe.
Oh, not a bribe. A gentleman's agreement.
Forget it.
Wait a minute. That's 1/10 of your operating cost. Can you afford to pass that up?
Under your conditions, I'd pass up 100 times that.
My, you are an idealist. It's funny how ideals have a nasty habit of breaking down in a crisis. Oh, good luck, Dave. Sebastian, will you call Alicia Franklin and find out if that thing Saturday is black tie? I thought you said you were going to be brief.
You have 1 week to send me that check.
Well, I'll save you the suspense of running back and forth to the mail. You're not going to get it.
Then I'll save you the suspense of anticipating what I'm going to do if I don't get it. Exactly 8 days from now. That's 1 day past the deadline. You'll open the Chronicle to read about a congressional candidate who made a commitment in public and refused to keep it.
What makes you so sure that they'll print such an accusation?
Your $10,000 pledge is a matter of public record. My books will be too, and the sum will be painfully absent. And I'm sure my daughter Stacy will be very delighted to write the story.
Oh, yes, and we all know in what high regard Stacy holds me. So much for the impartiality of the press.
And so much for your election to Congress. Well, that's all I have to say. And as I promised, I've been brief. Well, good day, gentlemen.
He will be holding that check tomorrow.
No.
You think he's kidding about going to the Chronicle?
I don't care if he goes to the New York Times.
This will kill you if it gets out.
Then let it. Better that than crawling before that manipulative drunk. I hate that guy.
So this is how the candidate reacts under pressure.
Yes. Why must he have the upper hand on me?
Oh, you dug your own hole this time, Bub, and now you're trying to give him the shovel to cover you up.
Thanks.
Look, it's not as if we won't get some mileage out of this. Listen, that contribution buys you a heavy percentage of the minority vote.
Hooray. It also buys him the privilege of calling me a sucker.
He's one man.
But he's the one that makes the difference. Maybe he won't have that privilege for very long. I am going to personally supervise his downfall. Send the check. Just make sure I don't see it.
I'll tell you, it just wasn't pleasant, that's for sure. It was just a dream, Ross. Was it? I'm not so sure. It was so real. I was pulling Marianne into hell with me, man. I could feel the heat again, just like before. I heard her screaming.
Hey, will you listen to me? Everybody has nightmares. In most cases, it's just our subconscious putting images to our fears.
Well, this isn't like most cases.
Russ, why is it you always have to be right and everybody else has to be wrong?
Ben, I wish I was wrong on this one.
You are. Marianne isn't in any sort of danger because of her association with you.
She's not having an association with me. She's in love with me. And look what she's been through because of that. Man, I love her. I love her a lot. But I'm not blind to certain things. And first and foremost is the fact that she may have a lot of faith, but she has a tendency to let that take a backseat to her emotions. Yeah, I noticed that I'm not getting kind of an argument out of you on that one.
No.
Ben, I can't stand the thought of living with the fact of what I think might happen if we stay together. It's that simple. I don't want to, but I'm gonna break it off with her.
You don't suppose if I'm perfectly honest with Paul that he could find it in himself to let Eric stay longer?
I don't think so, Daddy. I think maybe the best we can hope for is his respect for our being honest.
Still, it'd be worth a try, wouldn't it?
Well, let's just see how he reacts to that before we push for anything more.
You don't know how happy this makes me to see everyone together again.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucas.
Shall I pour, sir?
No, no, I will.
Very well. Will you be staying to dinner, Mrs. Mason?
No, I need to pick up Mr. Mason at the airport, but Eric will be staying, though.
Oh, wonderful. Will there be anything else?
Would you just help Eric unpack his things?
Very well.
Mim, sit down. Do you mind if I ask you a delicate question?
No.
You mentioned that you talked to Paul when you were in Canada. Does he have any idea at all of what's been going on here?
No, nothing. He thought it was a little odd that I should be taking Eric up to Mother's so late in Eric's stay, but at that point I didn't think I owed him any explanation.
I see. I don't suppose there's any way that we could lessen the severity of what's happened here.
Not if we want to tell the truth. And we want to tell the truth, don't we, Daddy?
Of course, of course. Mim, would you mind very much if I went to the airport with you when you pick Paul up?
Well, I don't
No,
know
we'll go
that
early.
that's-
We'll go early and have dinner. You know, I have the feeling that if we put our heads together, we can think of some way of keeping Eric here.
Still say you're making a mistake.
Hello?
Hi.
Well, hi. I was just thinking about you.
Well, that's funny. I was just thinking about you, too.
Well, that's kind of obvious, or you wouldn't have called.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Look, I know we had plans to go out tonight and everything, but would you mind just coming over to my place instead? There's something I want to talk to you about. It's a decision that I've made.
A decision? What?
Well, it's just a little too important to discuss over the phone, okay? I don't want to put it off. You don't mind not going out tonight, do you?
No, I would only mind if I wasn't spending time with you.
7 all right?
7's fine.
See you then.
Okay.
Hey, I love you.
I love you, too.
Bye.
Bye.
That's why I've got to do this.
So, Eric won't be going with you, Mrs. Mason.
Oh, no, no. He decided he just had to get in his last licks on that computer of his. I don't know. Where is that?
What on earth are you looking for?
Oh, I had a little slip of paper with all the information about Paul's flight and arrival and all of that.
Well, we can call the airline when we get to the restaurant. You know what time he's coming in, so it's no problem.
Wait, this looks
Aha.
like... Let's see, it's Pan Atlantic Airways Flight 643.
Oh, that's the airlines my sister always flies when she comes to visit me. She loves it.
Oh. Okay, Pan Atlantic Flight 643. Got it.
Excuse me.
Oh, you know, I suppose we should call from the restaurant just to make certain the flight is on time.
All right, but first, I have a quick call to my broker, all right?
Oh, fine. And, Daddy, I'll just run on upstairs and say goodbye to Eric.
All right.
Okay,
Oh,
here you go.
thank you, sir.
Okay, a toast to Russ and Marianne, finally.
Finally, I hope.
So you think that's the decision he made for Christ?
Well, what else could it be? I mean, he knows that's what he has to do before this relationship can go any farther. I don't know, Peter, it was something about the tone in his voice. I can't really describe it, but it was the way he said he had made a decision. Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, I hope so. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Well, Peter, don't you and Vicky talk about this sort of thing?
No. Maybe if things were a little bit tighter between us.
I thought they were tight.
Well, they are to a degree, yeah. But, Marianne, I'm just so Still so angry at the people who put her in prison. People who are just as guilty as she is. Like Nancy.
And Gil.
Yeah. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
Well, if Gil had never treated her the way he did, this whole Canterbury mess would have never happened.
Well, she feels bad. Each time I go up there, she's just a little bit more depressed.
Peter, are you, in love with Vicky?
Something's going on. You know, you and Russ went through an awful lot before you got where you are. Maybe I should keep that in mind.
I would be very careful. I made a lot of mistakes with Russ. And maybe things will work out for us this time. But don't worry about it. Because someday with Vicky or with some other girl, who knows, but things will work out for you just as well as they did for me.
Miriam, are you just about ready?
Yeah, Daddy, I'm ready. What did your broker have to say?
$200,000 worth of good news. Not bad for a day's work, hmm?
Oh, well, that sounds fine, but how much of that will you have tomorrow when the market closes?
All of it. He sold. Now, shall we go?
Yes, I'm all set. What was done?
Oh, Mr. Carpenter, Mrs.
Wait,
Mason.
what is wrong?
No, just calm
Something
down.
terrible has happened. I was listening to the radio. What is Mr. Mason's flight number?
643.
Oh, dear God. That was it.